My best personal milestones in music would have to be working with Stevie Wonder. He's been an idol hero of mine since I was about 8 years old. So actually to get into the studio with him and him write 2 songs for me was kind of mind-blowing and quite an achievement for me. Yeah, everything kind of points to that. I've just received my MBE as well for services to music, so that's quite a big thing for me, you know. And just every album that I make is a milestone for me because it's like a new evolution in my path of life, as it were. So, well, my influences growing up, of course, Stevie Wonder. You know, in terms of production, vocal harmonies, instrumentation, arrangements, that was quite a bedrock for me. But also people like Dennis Brown, John Holt, Bob Marley. You know, I like the Latin guys as well. Jazz vocalist singers like King Pleasure, John Hendricks. But I was also listening to a lot of Level 42 when I was growing up. I learned to play the bass just listening to Mark King, Jeff Lorber, amazing keyboardist as well. So yeah, people like that. Meeting Stevie when I was 16 didn't change anything. That was just the realization of a dream that I had to meet my idol. I was listening to Stevie from I was about 8 years old, and I think I already started forming some kind of thoughts in how I was going to do my production. My production was also helped by my father, Byron Lyfolk, who's a drummer in the 60s, 70s, played with people like Rolling Stones, Doris Troy, Bob Andy Marcia. So they kind of like, you know, I was getting a formulation because when I listen back to my old songs back then, they're not too far from what I do now, which is, you know, quite a simple thing, but a lot of groove in it, a lot of bass line. The rhythms are kind of firing, you know. So I don't think winning or not winning an award should dictate anything, really, because, I mean, if you check my career, then it's obviously not been guided by that at all. My thing that guides me is my vibe for making music. It's like a fire inside me that I get a buzz on a tune or a groove, bass line, melodies, something like that, and I can take it somewhere else. And then once I've completed the tune, then somebody comes up to me on the street and says, "Yo, man, I love that tune that you did." Or when you're doing a gig, you see people singing the songs that you made. That's the buzz for me. That's the thing that keeps me going on, you know. So yeah, awards is kind of like the end result, and if they come, they come. If they don't, that's not the reason why I'm making it in the first place. I've been blessed enough to get an MBE, so you know, I'm not gonna say take it back because it's not about that. You know what I mean? It's recognition for what I do, and yeah, I'm very pleased with that. The YouTube era. It's kind of like a mixture because now anybody can make their music and anybody can start up their own channel. They can put up their own website, Facebook, MySpace, whatever, and you know, get this stuff promoted to the masses. But there's so many people doing it now. It's just like you're wondering who's going to get paid. But I can see certain people are getting smart and they're working out ways of doing it. So I prefer the way that it is now to the way it used to be, because back in the day, only certain people controlled the media. So there's like the TV, only certain people control that, certain people control the radio. Do you know what I mean? And there was no cable TV or satellite or anything way back in the day. So you'd only have those certain things to go through. And you'd have to go through certain people to get there. Whereas now it's wide open. And it's changed the industry a whole heap, which I think is much better because people are making music that they want to make rather than being dictated to. I mean, there's obviously going to be some rubbish in there, but out of that, you're going to get something which is pure, you know? And I think that's a good thing. I'm listening to a young lady called Ivy Chanel, Kevin Mark Trail, Charlene Hector, and some old school jungle, man. I've been listening to one tape I made back from '94, and the tunes are kicking.